Hi there. Well, here's a short quiz for you. What is the fastest way to relieve constipation and support healthy digestion? Is it A, a higher fiber diet, the FODMAP diet, a vegan diet, fasting or drinking plenty of fluids? Is it B, natural remedies such as acupuncture, acupressure, enemas, herbal teas, ginger or prune juice, charcoal, witch hazel or probiotics? Is it C, conventional medications such as laxatives and antidiarrheal medicine, steroid creams for hemorrhoids, antacids, proton pump inhibitors, or histamine 2 blockers? Or is it D, yoga exercises, deep breathing, walking, bowel massage, pelvic floor, and core exercises? Well, the correct answer is none of the above. Now, if you answered incorrectly, then your doctor has probably been keeping something from you, because, you see, despite what doctors, big pharma, or the commercials have led you to believe, your gut problems have absolutely nothing to do with the foods you eat, nor what you drink. In fact, they've nothing to do with your age or how much you exercise, as proven by top researchers from the Medical Sciences Division, University of Oxford, the Department of Biostatistics at St. Johns Hopkins University, and the Gastroenterology and Hepatology Division at Cambridge University. If you experience digestive problems such as acid reflux, hemorrhoids, bloating, gas, constipation, or diarrhea, well, there's a 99% chance that A, you're the host of a microscopic blue parasite that's destroying your digestion and eating away at your gut, and B, you're carrying around up to 50 pounds of toxic waste in your colon that's been stuck there for decades. Now, while pharmaceutical companies are trying to hide this new information, world-renowned institutions like the Department of Infection and Immunity at the Amsterdam Institute now confirm that the damage this parasite causes goes way beyond digestion. The clogged toxic waste caused by this tiny parasite grows extremely dangerous bacteria that can lead to severe blood infections, stubborn body fat, aching joints, fatigue, low mood, skin problems, type 2 diabetes, headaches, and memory problems. Fortunately, you too can prevent all of this from happening thanks to a new discovery scientifically shown to tackle and destroy this parasite, completely rebuild your digestive system, detox your body, flush out even the most clogged bowels, and support healthy digestion. Imagine going to the toilet, eliminating everything easily, and feeling light, putting an end to embarrassing gas, painful hemorrhoids, acid reflux, and bathroom emergencies. Imagine stepping onto the bathroom scale and seeing the number drop, and buttoning your pants with ease because your belly is flat. All this while you're snacking without guilt and feeling more energetic and happier while you have done in years. This powerful gut health solution is so new and unconventional that I can almost guarantee that neither you nor your doctor will have heard about it. This unique and revolutionary digestive health solution has already been used successfully and discreetly by over 469,700 people and counting, including professional athletes, international business leaders, and Hollywood celebrities, people you know by name, and regular people just like you.
Years my bowels have been in turmoil with intermittent constipation and diarrhea and heartburn. Now I have normal and firm stool, and I have no more acid reflux or hemorrhoids. I'm feeling wonderful. Thank you.
I started keto, and even though I lost some weight, hemorrhoids and constipation were still an issue. After using your gut protocol for 32 days, I'm pooping like clockwork, and all hemorrhoids are gone. That's amazing.
I have a very slow colon and chronic heartburn. Everything the doctors put me on, nothing worked. Now I go every day, sometimes 2 to 3 times a day, and acid reflux has vanished.
I can eat whatever I want, trusting that everything goes smoothly in the morning.
Within just a few days, I noticed a huge difference. I'm finally regular and having a smooth delivery every morning. 2 weeks later, and the hemorrhoids have disappeared too. You've changed my life. Thank you.
My bowel movements are predictable and easier. My latest diagnosis shows that I have no more IBS and my tummy bloating's gone.
This unique constipation relief and gut health solution is scientifically proven whether you're young or old, male or female, or even if you've been dealing with digestive issues for years or even decades. And the best part is that it's fast, 100% natural, and it's completely safe. 5 years ago, our team of researchers partnered with a man named Frank Adams and together created this unique constipation relief and digestive health solution. Now, Frank's a family man living just outside Altoona, Pennsylvania, with his high school sweetheart and now wife, Annie, and their 3 kids. Now, this is actually a fascinating and also heartbreaking story of how chronic constipation almost killed him before a Greek coffee shop owner with a mysterious oil blend led him to this revolutionary, cheap digestive health solution. Now, if you watch Frank's presentation until the very end and do exactly what he says, I personally promise that 28 days from now, you are going to feel and look like a completely new person. So, without any further ado, here's Frank and his shocking true story.
I had been constipated for 23 days. The constant stabbing pain in my stomach was unbearable. When I was rushed to the ER, they told me my colon was just moments away from bursting. I also had a severe colon infection. I could have died that day if not for Dr. Jensen, a renowned colon and rectal surgeon. I later found out that my years of chronic constipation had left pounds of toxic waste trapped inside my colon. And this was, in fact, the main cause of my type 2 diabetes, weight gain, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and even my vision and memory problems. Dr. Jensen said,
"Frank, do you want to see your grandkids grow up? Because if we do not do this now, you will not live until Christmas. You have severe fecal impaction and need to manually remove a large hard mass of stool from your colon. You will die if not treated immediately," the doctor said. Then Dr. Jensen again put on a rubber glove. Then 2 fingers made their way up to remove toxic waste from my intestines. Never in my life had I experienced anything so embarrassing or degrading. The intense pain was only overshadowed by the sheer humiliation. What I didn't know at the time was how much worse it would get before it was over. Hi, my name is Francis Adams, and in just a few moments, I'll reveal a shocking story where I found myself in tears, humiliated like never before, and on the verge of death. I didn't know it at the time that this experience would lead to the discovery of a 100% natural solution to help me and thousands of other people around the world eliminate constipation, acid reflux, leaky gut, hemorrhoids, and bloating, and achieve optimal digestion, all from just 10 seconds a day.
in the next 5 minutes, you'll discover a little-known tip to unblock even the most severe case of constipation in just 1 minute and literally poop on demand. I'll also reveal a so-called healthy food item you should never, ever eat. You'll discover why most probiotics are a complete waste of money, and the only rare, yet surprisingly cheap probiotics that do work, and where to find them. You'll discover the unique 30-second lower abdomen test you can do right now in the comfort of your own home to expose whether your digestive health condition demands emergency medical attention or not. And you'll also find out how an odd-looking Greek coffee shop owner and a mysterious oil blend led me to the revolutionary cheap 10-second digestive health solution that I'm about to share with you.
Now, did you know that if you sit on the toilet for a long time with poor results, if you're having bowel movements less than twice a day, if you're resorting to laxatives, if your belly remains stubbornly bloated and pooched out over your belt line, and if you suffer from abdominal pain, frequent acid reflux, or embarrassing gas, there's a big chance that you're carrying pounds and pounds of stubborn old feces that are trapped inside you? Did you also know that these extra pounds of waste can lead to severe parasitic and candida infection, skin issues, digestive orders like leaky gut, ulcerative colitis, high cholesterol, cognitive problems, and type 2 diabetes? If you've struggled with constipation and other related gut issues and have been told it's normal, I hate to tell you, but you've been lied to by the boardroom billionaires of Big Pharma who want to keep you sick. See, If you learn the real causes behind your chronic digestive issues and constipation and related health disorders, they wouldn't be able to profit from you any longer. That's why I'm recording this video. But as frightening as it may sound, the truth is your digestive issues, like constipation, trapped feces, diarrhea, hemorrhoids, and acid reflux, have absolutely nothing to do with your diet, your age, your weight, your gender, or how much you exercise.
Despite what you might hear from the mainstream media or big pharma advocates, drinking 8 glasses of water or exercising vigorously doesn't guarantee a healthy digestive tract. That's because recent research has identified an aggressive and extremely harmful red parasite as the leading cause behind 99% of all digestive problems. This parasite is so pervasive and so hard to detect that it can be easy to miss when doing blood analysis or routine checkups. It's the kind of discovery that should normally result in a Nobel Prize, but big pharma companies are trying to suppress it with all their power, knowing full well that nobody would buy their dangerous chemicals if they knew the truth. Well-renowned institutions like the NYU Medical Center and the Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore confirm that anyone suffering from constipation, gastrointestinal bloating, or burning sensations in their stomach and upper body should seek help immediately.
Don't worry. Once you use the unique 10-second solution I'm about to share with you, you will be able to eliminate and expel this parasite from your digestive tract, detoxify, cleanse, rebuild, and nourish your entire digestive system, heal constipation, hemorrhoids, and acid reflux, and gain perfect digestive health. No matter your medical condition, no matter your gender, age, or the severity of your constipation, no matter how long you've been suffering from slow bowel movements, no matter if you suffer from chronic diarrhea, GERD, or hemorrhoids, this natural method created by a British renegade gut doctor can give you the smooth, healthy, and balanced food digestion of a teenager in just 10 seconds per day. You won't have to exercise fast, drink gallons of water, take enormous amounts of fiber each day, or give up any of your favorite foods.
Just imagine never having to fear another painful session in the bathroom. Imagine never feeling the stabbing pain of hemorrhoids or acid reflux. Imagine never having to experience the embarrassment of not being able to hold gas in public and the disgusted looks from people around you. Imagine your digestion working like clockwork while you look and feel at your best. Imagine losing weight gradually and healthily and having the energy, the hair, and the skin like you had in your teenage years. Over 469,700 people have already experienced the same result.
For years, my bowels have been in turmoil with intermittent constipation and diarrhea and heartburn. Now I have normal and firm stool, and I have no more acid reflux or hemorrhoids. I'm feeling wonderful. Thank you.
I started keto, and even though I lost some weight, hemorrhoids and constipation were still an issue. After using your gut protocol for 32 days, I'm pooping like clockwork, and all hemorrhoids are gone. That's amazing.
I have a very slow colon and chronic heartburn. Everything the doctors put me on, nothing worked. Now I go every day, sometimes 2 to 3 times a day, and acid reflux has vanished.
I can eat whatever I want, trusting that everything goes smoothly in the morning.
Within just a few days, I noticed a huge difference. I'm finally regular and having a smooth delivery every morning. 2 weeks later, and the hemorrhoids have disappeared too. You've changed my life. Thank you.
My bowel movements are predictable and easier. My latest diagnosis shows that I have no more IBS and my tummy bloating's gone.
Sounds too good to be true? That's what I thought before I tested the 10-second morning ritual that I'm about to show you. My name is Francis, but everyone calls me Frank. I was named after Sinatra because my mom was a huge fan of his music. I'm 56 years old and live in Altoona, Pennsylvania with my high school sweetheart and wife, Annie. The youngest of our 3 kids moved out almost 10 years ago. I used to work as a truck driver for a flower delivery company, and before things went south, if you know what I mean, I had never taken a sick day in almost 17 years. I never had any concerns about my health or my lifestyle. Yes, I was slightly overweight, but what man my age isn't? I like eating fried foods and meat in big portions. With lots of fresh air and exercise on the job, I was the picture of health, or at least that's what I thought. Then, in my mid-40s, I began gaining weight. I gained 50 pounds in a couple of years. Taking afternoon walks with Annie didn't help, and I was massively bloated. I also began suffering from terrible gas and flatulence, began smelling worse and worse. At the time, I didn't really take notice of it. Letting some gas slip once in a while is completely natural and not a big deal, but the comments from my children, grandchildren, and coworkers got more and more frequent. At home, my 5-year-old granddaughter Emma would hold her nose while her mother, my daughter Amy, would pretend not to notice. But they all knew I was the one letting out the smelly flatulence. They'd find excuses to leave the room, and my wife opened the windows even in the middle of winter. Soon, I started feeling bloated and had stabbing pains in my stomach. After a while, I wouldn't dare go to the bathroom if there was anyone else in the house, even my wife. When I managed to go, the noises would be so loud they could be heard over the house. At that point, the stench was almost unbearable, even for me. I also noticed that my wife bought more and more air fresheners and scent dispensers for our bathroom. Soon after, I started suffering from chronic constipation. The pain in my stomach got worse as I felt increasingly bloated. I had acid reflux that led to severe heartburn almost every single day. I even had difficulty swallowing and suffered hiccups that didn't let up. It led to many sleepless nights with severe pain in my chest and shortness of breath resembling a heart attack. The pain in my chest developed into a dry cough that left my throat so sore I could hardly speak. My throat became irritated and inflamed. My breath was awful. It got so bad that my wife wouldn't kiss me unless I had just brushed my teeth. My skin showed itchy rashes and increasing puffiness around my eyes. I could no longer ignore it because now I literally saw the consequences every time I looked in the mirror. Noticing my pain and embarrassment, Annie begged me to go see a doctor. But I had not been to the doctor in decades, not even the dentist. I had always bragged about my good health and never calling in sick at work. And anyways, I didn't have health insurance. The worries about the cost of treatment made me shrug off the problem for a while. As things got worse, I finally decided to seek professional help, even though I didn't have medical insurance. I walked into a clinic with high hopes and left with nothing but a large bill. Frank, we get lots of patients like you, the doctor said. The tests we ran on you and your colon show that you aren't suffering from a normal type of constipation. You're suffering from the less known form called HCS, or hidden constipation syndrome. It's much, much more lethal to the human body. Okay, that's great, I said. You've got it figured out. So what can we do, Doc? Well, not much. The medical community doesn't actually know all that much about this, but here's what I recommend. And he gave me a laundry list of the things that I could take or do to help me. And like a lamb led to slaughter, I did. I drank a lot of water, started eating salads and high-fiber foods, and I even exercised each morning before going to work. Yet, I saw no relief. I was still blocked. I still feared going to the bathroom. The pain and embarrassment were still there. I tried something called the FODMAP diet, which stands for fermentable oligo-D monosaccharides and polyols. This diet restricts your prebiotic foods, but recent research shows that restricting our prebiotic foods leads to a reduction in specific types of good gut bacteria. If you starve your gut bacteria, they could start harming you. And if you are restricting major food groups, there is an increased risk of missing out on some of the key nutrients like calcium. I tried eating nothing but fruit, but it led to severe bloating and more gas and more blockage. I then researched and found that most fruit, due to their high sugar content, can actually feed candida, gut parasites, and other pathogens. I also tried removing hard alcohol. I tried drinking more coffee and a lot of raw plum juice. If you're thinking about fiber supplements, don't. They contain many artificial flavors, harmful chemical substances. They do far more harm than good. Here's a short list of other things I've tried. Gobbling up prunes like they were candy. Didn't work. Biofeedback therapy to test if it was a problem with my pelvic floor. It did nothing. Acupressure and acupuncture, thinking maybe it was some kind of energy blockage. 0 results. Colon cleaners. These can be very harmful and unsafe. Once the cleanse has been completed, hidden constipation syndrome comes roaring back. And laxatives? They work by stimulating your body to poop more. Personally, I hated even having to try them because they're not natural and have severe long-term consequences. Your body then gets lazy and lets the laxatives do all the work. You also have to regularly increase the dose. The longer you use them, increasing risks and creating dependency. And lastly, probiotics. I tried all kinds, even the fancy expensive ones. Guess what? I was still blocked. I later found out that probiotics don't always live up to their harmless reputation, and to be effective, their formula needs to be tailored to the individual. The bacteria in most probiotics are already dead before you take them, or they do not make the journey to your gut alive due to the high acidity. A recent study showed that in more than half of the cases, even live probiotics with good bacteria, went in the mouth and straight out the other end, doing nothing. So, no matter what I tried, nothing worked long term, and I became more frustrated and more agitated. Then it got worse. I recall one time when we had a few guests over for dinner. I took 2 healthy servings of roast beef plus mashed potatoes and collard greens. I tend to eat quickly, causing me to pass gas. Well, I passed gas and everybody stopped eating and looked at me. My face turned cherry red, but this time, along with the gas, I soiled my pants. I've never been more embarrassed in my life. I excused myself and ran to the bathroom. In later family get-togethers, I had to move to sit and eat at the living room couch. Yes, you heard it right. On a cloudy Monday morning, I arrived at work when my stomach was tumbling and turning. I got more and more bloated as I made my first flower delivery round. When my round was over, the worst part of the day arrived. I dreaded going back for my lunch break. Either I can hold it or feel like my bowels could burst at any second, or I could go to the toilet to get some relief. The thing is, the toilet was right next to the break room. Everyone would hear through the thin walls. On one of those breaks, I ran to the men's room directly from the parking lot. The pain was so unbearable that I just had to go. Then it happened. As I wiped myself, I saw the toilet paper was full of blood. The rest of that shift was a living hell. Sitting on the car seat hurt like sitting on a knife. Walking to the houses to drop off the flowers was torture. Later that day, towards the end of my shift, I entered one of the restrooms to wash my face, and there was a full body mirror next to the exit door. I quickly looked at myself. I was shocked. I didn't even make it home from the worst shift of my life. While driving to one of my last destinations, my sight started getting blurry. I pulled over just in time, feeling nauseous, trembling all over. It all got dark. When I woke up, I was at the hospital. My wife was there and saw fear in her eyes. Someone leaned over me. "Are you awake, Frank?" I heard the doctor say. "You have extremely high infection numbers. If we hadn't gotten you in now, you would likely not have made it."
It said Dr. Jensen on his name tag. I told Dr. Jensen that I'd suffered from an extreme stabbing pain in my gut, months of abnormal gas, and 23 days of constipation. I also told him about the bleeding. He noted my symptoms in a dictaphone. He then asked me to pull down my pants and lie down on my side so he could perform an exam. I heard him put on a rubber glove. The excruciating pain was unbearable. I felt incredibly ashamed. Then Dr. Jensen said, "You have a bad case of hemorrhoids and dangerously chronic constipation. Furthermore, I believe you are on the verge of a colon rupture. I need to perform an urgent sigmoidoscopy just to be sure." He unwrapped a thin, tube-like instrument with a light at the end. The pain felt even worse than before.
Dr. Jensen stopped, looked at me and said, "Frank, do you want to see your grandkids grow up? Because if we do not do this now, you will not live until Christmas. You have severe fecal impaction. I will need to manually remove a large, hard mass of stool from your colon. It will not go away on its own, and you will die if not treated immediately." Next, I was told I had a serious infection and I needed to remain hospitalized. I spent the next week in a hospital bed, or rather, I spent most of the week on the toilet. I had to learn to give myself enemas to unclog my constipated intestines. The doctor told me that my condition was caused by the toxic waste building up in my colon for decades. The clogging of my intestines also allowed dangerous bacteria to grow and severe infection. But what was the cause behind such severe constipation? What led to this dangerous, frightening, toxic buildup in the first place? They had no idea. All I knew was that my infection was moments away from causing full-on and lethal colon rupture. If I hadn't had the toxic stool removed from my colon, I would have been dead within weeks. That was my wake-up call. Finally, I realized I had to find a solution that would allow me to see my grandkids grow up. However, it had to be an affordable solution. The medical bills had crippled my wife and I financially. We had to move out of our home, the home our kids grew up in, and downsize to a small apartment. 1 week later, I must admit that I felt much better. I felt cleansed and purged from the toxic alien that had been rotting inside my body for months. I lost a few pounds, and my hair and skin felt smooth and clear. Even the painful acid reflux was gone, and the hemorrhoids dried up. It seems like the operation had released me from the digestion disease and the blockage curse. But it didn't last. 3 weeks later, I felt that awful pain again when pooping. I felt bloated and blocked again, and tiny yet painful fissures started showing up, causing annoying pain and occasional blood. It was all manageable, but I could not help but wonder, was the colon operation just a Band-Aid? A life-saving procedure, yes, but nonetheless a Band-Aid? Was I cursed to follow an impractical, strict diet for the rest of my life? Did I need to give up my social life altogether just to avoid humiliation and embarrassment? Would I be haunted by constipation and crippling digestive issues until the day I die? A few weeks later, I had no choice but to go back to work. And over the next 2 weeks, I experienced all the same problems I had before. Loss of appetite, constant pressure on my belly, too much time in the bathroom, and difficulty getting it all out. The works. My performance at work was noticeably worse too. I spent easily 1 hour out of the 8-hour shift in a random restroom, or after dropping off a flowers package, I would beg the customer to let me use their bathroom. I couldn't do my job right if I had to keep thinking about finding a bathroom. Eventually, one morning, a few weeks later, I arrived at the office. "Frank, this is going to be your last day," said my boss. "What? Why? I love what I do." "We feel that you're slacking off in the washroom instead of working. You're putting everybody behind. On your shift, deliveries are delayed significantly and your coworkers are complaining. We even got complaints from customers after you use their bathroom. This is hurting our reputation. Here's your 4-week severance pay in cash. About $5,000. Thank you for your service to the company." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I'd worked my butt off for this company. It was the only thing that Annie and I had left. It was our only income. I cried on the drive home. When I came home, I couldn't say a word to Annie. I knew I couldn't possibly keep living like that. I had to find a real solution to my digestive condition. It was destroying my life, my health, and my financial well-being. I knew the solution had to be all natural and effective, yet cheap and available. I had to get my life back. The next morning, I said goodbye to Annie and walked to my favorite cafe a few blocks from my home. The owner, who I'd known for years, was a well-mannered 61-year-old named Jeff Katapodis, a witty dude with a slight Greek accent and a great sense of humor. He saw me sitting at my favorite table looking hopeless. He strolled over and asked, "What happened to you, gloomy Frank?" I told him I just got fired. "You? Why?" he said. "After all those years, they should have given you a medal instead of a pink slip. Ungrateful bastards." "No, seriously, why did they fire you?" he asked. "Do you mind if I bring my salad to your table? I'm really interested to hear why." "Sure," I said. "Bring one for me too, and hold the onions." 10 minutes later, while explaining to Jeff the reason I got fired, I noticed him taking a dropper out of his left pocket and placing a few drops into his salad. "What's that for?" I asked. "It keeps me regular," he said. I was stunned by the coincidence. Jeff told me he had suffered from constipation and digestive issues for years. After I told him about my chronic digestive problems, Jeff told me, "You need to hear about Dr. Harold Baker. Search for him online. It's a long story, but he's a close friend of mine." Harold is the one who recommended I take this oil extracted from herbs and plants. He ran one of the most detailed studies on constipation and digestive disorders ever. And his work, using sophisticated CAT scans, showed that constipation goes much deeper than you ever imagined. Specifically, rather than being a problem caused by the food you eat or your genetics, it's a problem with a certain bacterium in your gut lining and a very ruthless parasite. Finally, the first true explanation. Jeff told me that if I wanted to meet Dr. Baker in person, I'd have to travel to the UK. That's because Dr. Baker was very old, 100 years old, and avoided online media as much as possible. He gave me his home phone number. I promised not to share it with anyone. I phoned Dr. Baker and his wife answered. I told her I was friends with Jeff Katapodis, and she set up a meeting with her husband the week after. The next week, I was in UK with the address Jeff gave me. When I got there, Dr. Baker confessed that he didn't normally do these kind of consultations anymore. Apart from his age, he felt very weak and avoided talking to anyone outside of his family. But because Jeff was a friend, he agreed to see me for dinner at one of the restaurants near his house. When I met Dr. Baker, he made some doctor jokes, and then he started telling me about what he found through his extensive research to be the two main causes of almost all digestive disorders, constipation in particular. He told me that 33 years ago, during gastric bypass surgery and upon extracting cell samples from the lining of the small intestine, he discovered the main culprits, one specific bacteria called SIBO and one parasite named Entamoeba histolytica. Thanks to this experiment, he discovered that constipation and almost all digestive disorders are caused by either one of the above, or, more often, by the existence of both. He and his colleagues had proven this revolutionary theory by testing it on more than 280 subjects. The vast majority of those individuals, Dr. Baker added, had chronic constipation, even though they ate a very healthy Mediterranean diet and exercised regularly. Hearing this story made me very excited, so I couldn't help but ask Dr. Baker about the mysterious oil he gave Jeff. "Yes, I remember that," Dr. Baker said. "I created the oil in my lab by synthesizing several unique herbs, spices, and oils that I found to be extremely effective in controlling SIBO and the parasite." They are helpful at keeping these harmful microorganisms at bay, but ultimately, the blend does not eliminate them. Dr. Baker never finished the research. I'm too old now to complete the research alone, he said, but I can assure you of one thing. If you could find the missing natural ingredients, we'd have a formula so powerful that it would wipe out SIBO and the parasite and heal all digestive disorders from the core. If you're willing to put in the work, I promise I will do the rest. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. He was willing to help me. After the meeting with Dr. Baker, I tossed and turned all night in the hotel room. The next morning, I flew home, and the minute I got back, I sat in front of my computer and started my research. I had to find something, anything, through online articles and studies and forums that would back up this revolutionary claim. Here are a few of the interesting things I found. A study conducted by a team from Johns Hopkins University and the Thames Valley University in Brentford, England, found that if you suffer from constipation, trapped feces, or any related digestion issue, there's a 93% chance that you're either the host of a hidden dangerous bacteria in your small intestine that's wreaking havoc in your digestive tract and colon as we speak, or your gut is the host of a tiny parasite called amoeba. More often than not, you are the host of both. Well, the bacteria Dr. Baker referred to is called SIBO, or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. The CH4 predominant type is a condition where otherwise beneficial bacteria end up in the wrong part of the digestive system. They then proliferate and lead to chronic constipation. SIBO produces excess levels of hydrogen that feed their microorganisms that consume the hydrogen and, in turn, produce large amounts of methane gas, dramatically slowing down your transit time. This creates a vicious cycle where methane dramatically slows transit time, causes chronic constipation. Constipation allows more SIBO bacteria to grow, causing more methane and more constipation. And so on and so forth. SIBO constipation is a difficult cycle to break without the right intervention. As far as the parasite goes, I found out that scientists at the University of Virginia School of Medicine discovered a vicious parasite that kills human cells. Until now, researchers had assumed that the amoeba, Entamoeba histolytica, killed and then engulfed and consumed human cells. But the team found the amoeba takes small bites of the cell until the cell dies, and then the amoeba loses all interest in eating the leftovers. The findings suggest that the amoeba may invade and destroy host intestinal tissue by nibbling alive the cells that line the gut. You see, basically in an optimal condition, every food we consume should slide on the mucus lining of our gut. The problem is that the amoeba simply eats this mucus lining, making the food you eat, even the healthiest food, stick there and rot. Your bowel, also known as your colon or large intestine, has the very important job of extracting fluids and nutrition from the food you eat, then removing the remaining waste from your body. When this system is working properly, good health and high energy usually result. But if your bowels are unable to extract adequate nutrition from your food, or if the waste isn't being completely eliminated from your body, your health can suffer. In hundreds of random autopsies conducted on people who had died from a variety of causes, examiners found that 90% of the cadavers' colons held significant deposits of hardened, decayed feces, encrusted layer upon layer on the intestine walls. Another one had a stagnant colon that weighed an incredible 40 pounds. Imagine carrying around that much toxic waste inside your body. It all begins with constipation. Over time, fecal residues may become so impacted that the colon walls are stretched way beyond the normal 2 to 3 inch diameter. If this condition continues, the colon can stretch to the point where its nerves are no longer capable of triggering muscle contractions. From that point on, you are in danger of intestinal eruption. If your colon bursts, your life is in immediate danger. It almost happened to me. By the way, I promised you that I have a very unique and useful tip for relieving constipation on demand. So, here it is. 5 minutes before you go to the bathroom, do this yoga exercise, followed by the toilet squatting technique. Bend your left leg and place your left foot on the ground over your right knee. Bend your right knee and tuck your right foot near your butt. Place your right elbow near your left knee and twist your body, looking over your left shoulder. Hold, and then switch sides. Then, the next time you need to poop, bring a small footstool into your bathroom. Now, when you're on the toilet, get in a squat position to poop. Placing your feet on a stool in front of the toilet while you poop, so your body is essentially in a squatting position instead of in a seated position, can help you pass stool without straining. Back to my story. A few days later, I was back at Jeff's restaurant telling him everything. He was thrilled and immediately said that we must use the help of his brother-in-law, Professor Vanko Regas, who had a PhD in nutrition and was a top food scientist and worked as a professor emeritus at the National Kapodistrian University of Athens. I contacted Professor Vanko and told him about my meeting with Dr. Baker, about SIBO and the amoeba and Dr. Baker's effective yet incomplete oil recipe. I asked him whether I could show it to him. Professor Vanko also suffered from moderate constipation and other digestive issues, and none of the nutritional restrictions he tried had worked. We scheduled a video call that very evening. I can still remember how surprised and thrilled Professor Vanko was by my research. He said that by working together, we can find the missing ingredients and develop a perfect gut regenerating formula. So, even though the next day Professor Vanko had to fly to Greece, we worked together through video calls. 4 weeks later, after researching dozens of different formulas, Professor Vanko sent over 130 formulas to Dr. Baker, who, after a couple of months, picked what he called the most potent of all blends. He did that by testing each blend, mixing and matching the different herbs, oils, and powders to analyze and verify which ones work together perfectly. Inside his laboratory in the UK, he made sure that he had the right quantities and the most effective combination to eliminate SIBO and the amoeba. And 17 days later, there was a match. Our small team had finally created an all-powerful, 100% natural, gut-regenerating active formula. Dr. Baker sent it to us. Once I got my hands on it, with the help of Professor Vanko, we researched and found the purest ingredients to make it. We talked to local growers worldwide, making sure our formula contained only fresh plants, spices, and herbs. The Dr. Baker recipe for perfect gut health and freedom from constipation works in 4 action steps. Let's look at action step number 1. Eliminates both SIBO and the amoeba and knocks down the toxic buildup that took decades to gather. It busts through the barriers of crusty layers and decaying fecal matter by softly washing the inside of your colon walls and restoring them. To do this, we added Swiss bentonite clay. It helps eliminate and push out bacteria, parasites, and toxins so they can no longer cause harm to your body through your bloodstream and other organs. Swiss bentonite clay has been used for more than 110 years to expose the toxins we are exposed to each and every day. Due to its chemical structure, bentonite clay essentially seeks out toxins, parasites, and bacteria in the body, to bind with them, and then flushes them out of your body. We added psyllium husk with its lustrous mucilage. This keeps stool moving through your digestive tract and draws water into stool. Psyllium also stimulates your colon to keep stool moving at optimum speed, evacuating even faster the blockages, bacteria, and parasites collected by the clay. The next ingredient is apple pectin, a prebiotic that promotes gut health by feeding the beneficial bacteria in your digestive tract. It also helps eliminate heavy metals. Now, here's action step number 2. It helps regenerate your bowels, restore your digestion, and feed your system the nutrients it needs to work like clockwork every single day, with no more fear or worries of toxins spilling inside of you. To repair, rejuvenate, and nourish your digestive system, we've added organic flaxseed, an outstanding source of soluble fiber. This is the type of fiber that helps your digestive processes along. Flaxseed is an excellent source of anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids and contributes to digestive regularity by lubricating your gut lining. We also added fresh and dried prunes. There is evidence that prunes may help reset the gut after a foodborne illness. Fresh and dried prunes have been tested for their ability to suppress the growth of Salmonella and E. coli. Combination of fiber, phenolic compounds, and sorbitol within prunes significantly relieves constipation and regenerates the bowels. We also added oats. The fiber in oat bran can keep you from becoming constipated by increasing the bulk of your stool and helping to keep it soft. In a Canadian study, researchers found that adding oat bran biscuits to patients' daily diet produced a marked improvement in bowel frequency and consistency. Let's now look at action step number 3. It rebuilds and reloads your colon with healthy intestinal flora using L. acidophilus. L. acidophilus balances potentially harmful bacteria that can otherwise flourish in the gut. L. acidophilus also prevents other harmful bacteria from colonizing the intestines and ensures the lining of the intestine stays intact. The type we added are live strains that can survive the stomach acid and thus prevent fermentation, indigestion, bloating, and gas. Finally, action step number 4, prebiotics. This step nourishes and powers up your intestinal flora to bulletproof your entire digestive system. Prebiotics feed the probiotic bacteria the optimal nutrients to grow strong, and our formula is a symbiotic formula that combines only potent prebiotics with the highest quality live probiotics, focusing on synergy between them. The first prebiotics we added are black walnuts. Research by Lori Byerly, PhD at LSU Health New Orleans School of Medicine, has found that walnuts in the diet change the makeup of bacteria in the gut, and they empower and enhance gut probiotics. Walnuts have been called a superfood because they're rich in omega-3 fatty acid, alpha-linoleic acid, and fiber, and they contain one of the highest concentrations of antioxidants. We sourced our black walnuts from trees planted in the open to ensure their optimal prebiotic and antioxidant effect. The next prebiotic food we used was aloe vera. Out of 26 types, we chose the purest, most potent one. Aloe vera increases both the concentration and longevity of the good bacteria. Aloe vera is also a potent anti-inflammatory agent, reducing the incidence of stomach ulcers and improving digestion. Finally, we added the favorite food source for probiotics, glucosamine. A complex sugar glucosamine enhances immunity and absorbs water to form a bulky fiber that helps relieve constipation. It also slows down the absorption of sugar and cholesterol in the gut, helping to control sugar levels in people with diabetes and reduce cholesterol levels. It has also been proven to starve bad bacteria while feeding good bacteria. So, those are the 4 action steps taken in this unique, complete recipe. It's the only gut health solution I've seen that supports all 4 steps to perfect digestive health and combines these proven flora recharging ingredients. Now, let's get back to my story. 2 days later, Professor Vanko told me, "Don't get too excited, Frank, because Big Pharma will never allow us to make this solution public. They will act swiftly and stop it. They'll try to get all these ingredients banned, claiming they're dangerous or homeopathic nonsense, the same way they banned 129 other plants in the history of humanity that worked for other diseases." And he showed me a list on his phone. I had never seen this list before. And it made sense why Big Pharma would never allow this. For the first time in years, I understood what was happening, and I hoped that I could save the lives of those suffering. I was willing to take the risk. I couldn't stand there with my arms crossed, waiting for millions of Americans to have their digestive health deteriorate to the point where they could be on the verge of colon rupture while Big Pharma collected another fat check. I was tired of waiting and seeing everything around me crumbling to pieces. But then Professor Vanko warned me. The formula will be 100% effective only when you use all the ingredients combined in exact, specific ratios. He showed me a document with all the calculations he made to finally achieve those optimal ratios between the ingredients. Without adequate preparation, he emphasized, the whole ritual would be worthless. He also warned me about counterfeit and cheap imitations of all these ingredients. He tested so-called natural and herbal extracts, vitamins and minerals, and found many weren't natural at all. They had ingredients derived from chemicals, not natural sources. In other words, the gut health herbal powder you buy at the health food store may not deliver the same amazing results that authentic herbal powder will. But Dr. Baker was the only one who knew the exact ratios. Dr. Baker knew the order of the ingredients, the best type and variety of each plant, how to source for purity, how many weeks it took to extract them from plants, and most importantly, he had done this before with the oil extract that relieved Jeff's chronic constipation. But seeing how committed and desperate I was, Dr. Baker told me he had my back. Professor Vanko said he wouldn't abandon me either. Nothing could stop us now. We had the formula, the medical knowledge, and Dr. Baker's lab all to ourselves. We searched the whole world through Professor Vanko's scientific connections and worked with certified producers and verified suppliers, making sure that we only used top quality, pure ingredients sourced from local growers who let plants naturally reach their full maturity without herbicides. In the end, we had to adjust the ratios with incredible precision. The result? We would have enough of a unique natural mixture of ingredients for just over 100 people for a week or so. After putting on the last touches, Dr. Baker sent me a bottle with the mixture in powder form. I started with 1 tablespoon every morning with a big glass of water. Piece of cake. In the first days, nothing happened. I was a bit discouraged, I have to admit, but Professor Vanko called me every day to lift my spirits. Then I took a tablespoon once in the morning, once in the evening, and waited. After 2 days, I saw no noticeable changes, but I knew I had to be patient and that the recipe wouldn't work overnight. As each day passed, I felt more skeptical. But then, something incredible happened. Within just 4 days, I was back to my usual bowel movements. I was in and out of the bathroom in no time. 10 days after that, I felt like my old self. That week at family dinner, I didn't get up from the table once. I felt relief all night. After my wife mentioned the powder to one of her girlfriends on the phone, she kindly asked if she could have some for her husband to try. Guess what? After I gave it to her and her husband, they reported the exact same results. Supercharged energy for days, relief from agonizing pain, and the end of constipation. I also felt like I had turned back the clock with a restored and youthful glow. No more toxins, fatigue, or struggling in the bathroom, or gas and bloating. I woke up on a sunny Sunday morning, stepped on the scales, and screamed out with joy. I'd lost 3 pounds. But that was only the beginning. Soon after, I shed an astonishing 15 pounds of useless, ugly belly fat. But more than that, my body and overall health and vitality went through a transformation I could never have imagined. My gut was finally getting the care and cleansing it needed to function. Every waking morning, I felt younger, lighter, and more alive than I'd ever felt. My skin began to glow. No more bloating, gas, hemorrhoids, or acid reflux. My blood glucose levels plummeted, reducing my need for insulin injections I've been taking for years. My cholesterol fell. My blood pressure levels stabilized, meaning I no longer needed my meds. I was sleeping soundly and waking up each morning bright-eyed and full of energy. I felt happier than I had in years, decades even, and my confidence and self-esteem returned. I couldn't believe it. It was like I was being reborn, regenerated even. In no time at all, I lost 47 pounds. 2 days later, I went to our neighborhood barbecue place and ordered 2 servings of brisket, my favorite, plus a small coleslaw. I used to fear every meal, but now I ate with confidence and a big smile on my face. I enjoyed every bite. No cramping, no gas, no bloating, and no acid reflux. Half an hour later, I relieved myself at ease in the comfort of my home. No pain, no stabbing needle feeling from hemorrhoids, nothing. Just a peaceful, routine, and great renewed feeling of relief. Seeing my progress, I posted an announcement on various forums and support groups for people with digestive issues such as acid reflux, gas and hemorrhoids, and chronic constipation, asking them to discreetly test out our pure organic formula. We were lucky enough to gather 113 volunteers. They each received the powder and a daily report form to follow their progress. I was prepared to wait at least 2 weeks for the initial reports to come back, but what happened exceeded even our wildest dreams. After just 5 days, we received call after call from people in the study claiming their digestion was as good as ever. When we went to collect the final reports from the other subjects, the results were astounding. Not a single person reported bloating, stomach troubles, constipation, or diarrhea. Most of them claimed they were losing pound after pound, and their belly was now flatter. Some were amazed at how good their skin and hair looked, while others couldn't believe that their fatigue, brain fog, and anxiety were gone. They felt completely normal again. They could eat and drink whatever they wanted, and their digestion was perfect. Every single one of the 113 volunteers reported dramatic improvements in their health. They had an average weight loss of 12.8 pounds. Each volunteer reported feeling younger, more alert, and more alive than they'd felt in the past 30 years. To think, all they had to do was use a pain-free, natural mixture. It was a discovery of mind-blowing potential, and I literally jumped with joy at the thought of how many people I could help. After seeing all the results and messages, it was clear we couldn't keep this life-saving treatment to all ourselves, especially since everyone in the study kept asking us for more of our magic mix for them and their close friends and family members. We obviously couldn't ignore the many cries for help. We needed to make our discovery accessible to as many people as possible. To produce the formula ourselves in greater quantities, we needed a much better plan, so Professor Vanko suggested we buy the ingredients in bulk. We searched the whole world through our scientific connections, worked with certified producers and verified suppliers, making sure that for our recipe, we only used top quality ingredients, pure ingredients sourced from local growers that let plants naturally reach their full maturity and use no herbicides. 100% effective, prepared the right way in order to keep their properties intact and using the right potency. And 100% safe, processed under strict sterile standards with regularly disinfected equipment. We secretly worked day and night with a large, modern, discreet manufacturing facility in the US that could take care of everything. This way, we could produce this potent mixture in the quantity we wanted, in tiny, easy-to-swallow capsules. We tested until dawn, making sure we got the right quantities and the most effective combination of ingredients. In the end, there it was. My hands shook as I held the final formula that would reverse constipation and related gut and health issues and save the lives of thousands of people worldwide. If this tiny natural pill was the most effective treatment for gut diseases and constipation while enhancing rapid fat loss, it would be a miracle. We named our supplement Gut Vita, the only 100% natural blend that addresses all 4 action steps required to achieve optimal gut health. It eliminates both SIBO and the amoeba and knocks down the toxic buildup while fighting inflammation, regenerating the bowels, rebuilding and reloading your colon with healthy intestinal flora, and nourishing your intestinal flora. Gut Vita contains the purest, highest quality ingredients with the exact quantities based on the most potent gut regenerating formula. Every single natural pill is manufactured in the US in our FDA-approved and GMP certified facility under sterile, strict, and precise standards. Gut Vita capsules are non-GMO and safe. they do not contain any dangerous stimulants or toxins, and they are not habit-forming. At the same time, this doesn't mean that you'll have to take the capsules every day for the rest of your life. On the contrary, just a couple of bottles or more, depending on your gut condition, your flora, the levels of SIBO bacteria, and the amoeba parasite present, can help your body create its natural defense mechanisms. As a result, your body can become immune to these microorganisms and become regular for life, free from gas, bloating, heartburn, and hemorrhoids long after you're finished taking it. 469,700 people and counting have already restored their digestive health with Gut Vita.
Every time I went to the bathroom, I was in fear. I would sit on the toilet for hours with zero results. With Gut Vita, I can eat whatever I want, trusting that everything goes smoothly in the morning.
I've been dealing with constipation, indigestion, and those damn hemorrhoids giving me hell for as long as I can remember. Gut Vita was a prayer answer for me. Within just a few days, I noticed a huge difference. I'm finally regular and having a smooth delivery every morning. 2 weeks later, and the hemorrhoids have disappeared too. You've changed my life. Thank you.
Wow, I have suffered from IBS and constipation for over 37 years, and I thought I was going to have to live with the agonizing pain. It seemed like there wasn't any hope at all. But just 1 week after taking Gut Vita, my bowel movements are predictable and easier. My latest diagnosis shows that I have no more IBS and my tummy bloating's gone.
All you have to do to experience the same amazing improvements in your gut health is to start using this convenient and easily absorbable supplement as soon as possible. The solution is much simpler than you think, and you can get access to everything in the next 90 seconds. Now, knowing all of this, it's obvious why Gut Vita is better than every other option and is the most powerful gut recharging formula. Nothing else out there has been proven to work long term. Instead, Gut Vita is a completely natural and effective way to restore gut health and prevent further damage that may lead to colon rupture and many digestion-related conditions. Now, if you're ready to say yes to this big change, ask yourself, how much is it worth to be in full control of my digestion, my bowel movements, my overall health, energy, and my appearance? How much is it worth to have regular bowel movements like clockwork and to be pain and discomfort-free with no more straining on the toilet? How much is it worth to get on with the rest of your life, knowing that you're doing your body a massive favor and adding years to your life? Imagine having boundless energy and saying goodbye to painful visits to the bathroom. Just take a second. Imagine how much that outcome would be worth. $5,000? $2,000? $997? Well, let me tell you, this isn't about money for me. I'll never forget the humiliation I felt when I soiled myself at the family dinner table or experienced the horror, embarrassment, and shame in the emergency room. I never want anyone to feel as humiliated, angry, or helpless as I did. That's why I'll never ask for $597 or $397 or even half of that. I just want to cover the cost of the ingredients and keep this site running for as long as I can, even though, given my costs, I'll soon have to charge $99 for one bottle of Gut Vita. Still, one bottle surely costs a lot less than a visit to the doctor. But don't worry. For now, you can get a 30-day supply of Gut Vita for a one-time, 100% risk-free investment of just $69. And that's not all. If you order a 3 or 6-month package, we'll give you an even bigger discount. Here's why. Both Professor Vonko and I have run so many tests to optimize the length of the treatment period. That's why we recommend you take the supplement for at least 90 days just to make 100% sure there's not a single trace of SIBO or the amoeba in your gut and ensure regular bowel movements and optimal gut health for the rest of your life. All you have to do to achieve the same dramatic improvements in your health, energy, skin, and hair appearance, weight, and vitality is to start using Gut Vita as soon as possible. Remember, Gut Vita is the only supplement that addresses all 4 action steps required to achieve optimal gut health. If you're ready to give up the burden of being constipated and blocked all the time, and you're ready to bring the excitement, energy, vigor, and satisfaction back into your life, if you're ready to say yes to this big change, you need to take action now. Now, I want to recommend something very important to you. After seeing the positive results of more than 469,700 people, when you're ordering Gut Vita, go for, at the very least, 3 bottles. This will give you enough supply to reap the full benefits, as it could take more than 75 days to make sure your gut is repaired and fully functioning. Plus, 3 bottles will bulletproof your gut and small intestine against any amoeba and other harmful parasites and make you immune from the dangerous SIBO bacteria while restoring energy and helping you to rapidly lose weight, rejuvenating and strengthening every inch of your digestive system. Or, if you want to flush out even more fat and toxins from your body and lose those stubborn extra pounds and enjoy a flat belly, high energy levels, and toned, glowing skin, 6 bottles of Gut Vita are all you need. 6 bottles of Gut Vita promote gut function so optimal that it's like Teflon for fat. Fat just slides away. Make no mistake, every extra bottle of Gut Vita will bring you more and more benefits. I'm sure you've heard that most diseases, from skin problems to autoimmune diseases, heart disease, early aging, and even mental issues such as brain fog, forgetfulness, and depression, have been tied to an unhealthy digestive system. Well, we believe that if you fix your gut health, you have the chance to fix any related diseases. Of course, this doesn't happen overnight, and anyone who tells you that will get permanent results in just a few days is lying. That's why we recommend you invest in more bottles today. We're happy to see so many people taking Gut Vita to solve their digestive problems, but high demand can lead to low supply. Please, take into account that Gut Vita is selling incredibly fast. Once it sells out, it'll take us 6 to 9 months to find the purest ingredients and produce a new batch without compromising on quality. Of course, we're committed to supporting you in every way that we can, so we will let you order a batch of 3 or 6 bottles for a huge discount. You won't be seeing Gut Vita anywhere in stores, so secure your stock now at the lowest possible price. Plus, when you get the 3 or 6 bottle package, you'll also receive 3 exclusive free bonuses. First off, you get the regular chef 125 gourmet recipes for unblocking your pipes. This digital book retails at $97, but you're going to receive it for free. Written by some of the most respected authorities in the nutrition space, this unique protocol is aimed at detoxifying and optimizing colon function by activating the exact ingredients found in Gut Vita. Following this protocol is the key to long-term digestive and overall health. You also get the Flat Belly Report. If you're one of the 69% of Americans who need to lose some weight, then this is totally for you. Let me tell you what the Dr. Dave Collins Flat Belly Report can do for you. It will activate the healthy brown fat in your body and melt the unhealthy and dangerous white fat with the help of a very important protein called the UCP1, which erases hunger and totally stops the accumulation of adipose tissue, no matter if you are 20 or 70, male or female. Without sweaty, exhausting workouts, toxic weight loss pills, grueling diets, or costly liposuction. Finally, you'll be receiving Age Reverser digital book. Look 5 years younger in 14 days with a 2-finger technique. Inside this unique report, you'll discover how a 2-finger massage technique could actually make you look at least 5 years younger in a matter of weeks. Inspired by ancient Chinese practices, these special exercises will bring you that young, fresh glow on your face that you may have lost. It's a comfortable and highly effective at-home method. Take a look below. Once you order, you'll be taken to a secure checkout page. Just fill in your payment details using a credit or debit card. Immediately after you fill in your information and confirm your order, your bottles of Gut Vita will be shipped right to your doorstep. If you order the 3-bottle or 6-bottle package, which we recommend as we estimate we could run out of stock soon, you'll also take advantage of a huge discount. Plus, remember that missing 1 day of Gut Vita can compromise a full month of progress. So, if I were to give you just one piece of advice, this would be: don't risk running out of Gut Vita. Just click below to select your package. Your order today is a one-time payment with no subscription or hidden charges. Keep in mind that Gut Vita can be found only on this page, and it is not available for purchase anywhere else. This is your only chance to grab this exclusive formula. Listen, by 2026, it's estimated that the digestive health product market could reach $70 billion in value. No wonder big pharma companies have been mercilessly hunting down anyone who dares to make public a natural, easy alternative solution to their overpriced, useless pills that don't even address the root cause. Please, make your choice today while this site is still up. If you are skeptical, I totally understand. You spent a lot of money, went through so much pain, and nothing worked. Now, I am so confident that Gut Vita works that I'm going to give you our ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. If you don't experience dramatic improvements or you're not satisfied for any reason whatsoever, we will issue a full refund, no questions asked. All you need to do is contact us within the first 60 days of your purchase. It doesn't matter if you used up the whole bottle, we will still give you your money back. This means you have 2 whole months to decide if Gut Vita is right for you. No hidden fees or subscriptions, just a safe and secure one-time payment. Choose the package you want below. You have 2 choices ahead of you right now. Option 1. Stop following this presentation and leave this page. Do nothing. Keep going the way you are with a toxic, slow, and sluggish digestive system. Straining on the toilet for hours in pain, knowing the toxic waste inside you is never fully eliminated. Suffering from diarrhea, painful fissures, embarrassing, uncontrolled bloating, and acid reflux. Living like this for months or years with a miserable and disease-filled future? It's not going to be pleasant. Option 2. Risk nothing at all today. Grab Gut Vita right now, and you'll be surprised at how good it feels to have more energy and superb overall health and appearance, and how easy it is to lose weight by restoring and regenerating gut health. So, just click below to make your choice. Enter your payment details on our secure order form and place the order now. We'll immediately ship your bottles directly to your home. Still here? Great. I wanted to take a second and answer the most common questions I get about Gut Vita. I just want to make you feel 100% comfortable with your decision to order today. How and why does Gut Vita work? Gut Vita works in a very simple yet powerful way. Gut Vita contains powerful and rare ingredients to tackle the 4 action steps required to obtain perfect gut health. It eliminates both SIBO and the amoeba and knocks down the toxic buildup while fighting inflammation. It regenerates the bowels, it rebuilds and reloads your colon with the healthy intestinal flora, and it nourishes your intestinal flora. Is Gut Vita safe? Gut Vita has been designed for all ages and medical conditions. Addressing the root cause of your gut problems is the most important thing you can do today for long-lasting results now and well into old age. Gut Vita contains high-quality, natural ingredients manufactured in an FDA-approved facility under sterile, strict, and precise standards. Each ingredient in Gut Vita is tested for purity to ensure no toxins or contaminants, so rest assured, it's 100% safe. As always, if you currently have a medical condition or you're taking other prescription medication, we advise you to show a bottle of this supplement to your doctor before you take it, just to put your mind at ease. When should I take Gut Vita? We recommend taking 2 capsules with a big glass of water, one in the morning and one in the evening, for a deep cleanse that detoxifies, repairs, and optimizes your gut function, your physical and mental health, physical appearance, and well-being. What if it doesn't work for me? The more results we see in people each day, the more we believe Gut Vita has the power to completely transform your gut health, energy, and appearance. It's true, however, that nothing works for every single person, as each body functions in its own way. That's why every bottle of Gut Vita comes with an ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. If, for any reason, you aren't fully satisfied with the results, you could just return what you haven't used for a full, no questions asked refund. How long will this supplement be available to the public? Well, I'm not sure, but history has shown that Big Pharma is not afraid to spend millions of dollars in legal fees to remove something that threatens its very existence. When you spend $1 million in lawyers' costs to protect the billions per year that you make on prescriptions, get yours right away. All you have to do today is click below, fill in the payment details on our secure order form, and submit your order. I'm waiting to hear your success story very soon.